Hello and welcome to the walkthrough tour for the Nautica CD. Now this is the brother of Mechanica, and if you've enjoyed that, I hope you're going to love this one as well. It's a very similar format, but obviously totally new images. So what we've got is a CD here, primarily aimed at cards for men, and you've got a range of different elements that we can work with our card making. So what I'll do is just run through the basics at the start first, and then we'll dive straight on in. We've got our help menu here. It just gives you a basic guide to various things if and when you should need it. And we've got our video tutorials here, and again you can watch a video showing you how to use the graphics. And if you click onto this one, it'll play. It's a Windows movie. It should work on the Mac as well, but if not, and you've got access to the internet, we've got it as a video here which you can watch via YouTube, and that will show you how to use the graphics package. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Then we've got updates and downloads button here. Sometimes there's some extra bits that I might add to the CD later on, so it's worth just checking to see if there's anything there that might be of use to you. And so that's the sort of the peripheries. Now comes the main sort of meat of the CD-ROM here. And I'll start off with the backing papers. And again, what we'll do then is just simply point and click. Remember, this runs on your Mac and the PC, and it works in the same way. So we've got two sets of papers, the full colour and the ones in the tinted ones. And again, that's because we can mat and layer these. So if I just click onto here, we can see we've got 80 papers, and they're kind of in sections, but it's all really to do with boating, textures and exciting papers. So again, I click onto this one here and just click on, and we've got here like the plate, the riveted plate of a hull of a boat. I just love these. I'm just looking for things which kind of excited me, and I thought, make a really nice background. I'm going for a sort of, we went for steampunkish look on Mechanica. On Nautica, we've got that kind of same feel. It's I don't know what the best way to describe it. Grunge, I suppose, is a one way of describing it, but it's that sort of Victoriana industrial look with it as well, with sort of heavy rivets. Just makes, I think, really exciting textures. But that is countered by other things as well. So we've got here a beautiful sea that we could use. So again, lots of the CD, and I've tried to really think about the different elements that you could use, the sand here, etc., to be used with the connotations of Nautica, kind of raging sea, and then just a lovely blue one with the foam here. So and shells, things like this. So it just gives a good overview of what we've got on the CD. I like the backing papers because to me that's my starting point. You know, what am I going to use? Something like this, an old map, could make a fantastic background. Or the ship's rope, as we've got here, or even the decking here. So that's a sneak preview of what we've got on here, and it's about texture and backgrounds. Again, just plans for a boat here. Now remember, you don't have to use the whole paper. You can take sections out of it if you want to. Just cut a little bit out and mat and layer those. So you don't have to feel that you have to use it all. And again, you know, this will print out in half. That could be the section that you want there. So it's worth just, you know, giving a little bit of thought about how you want your card to look. And to counter that, we've got the mat and layering here. So if we go back to this one, if you want to just tame it all down, you may want to just start with this and print that as your card background and work up on it. But I do find it useful to work in conjunction with the two papers. So those are our backing papers. And I hope you really like them, because I think there's a lot in there that you can use, not just for the Nautica CD, but for any of your other crafting as well. And so the next thing to look at is the toppers. And I've stuck to these as the squares, and again I've got my main one, and then we've got them in a tint as well, and I'll just tell you why in a moment. So again, click on, and we've got 20 images here. and these are just based around sort of things to do with Nautica, from the sailing ships through to the compasses and the watches as well. So these I've used and put them, as I said, into a square format. Now you could put one on top of the other. They're not designed to actually, sort of fit and see the image to stack, but you can stack one on top of the other if you wanted to, or use this as the tinted one and then put a full color one on top. Also, I love square cards, and I put these as square because there's nothing to stop you just chopping down and making this, if you want to. Most of them can be changed the format. You could cut here and make it into a landscape or portrait shape. So think outside the box. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, so these are your 20 basic toppers that we can use with the cards as well. And it's just a whole different range of images that we can work with there. This gives a really exciting feel to the card, and we've got 20 there and another 20 on here, giving us 40 in total. And here we've got things like a boat. Again, you could chop down the sides on this if you want to make it bigger, through to more of the sort of ropes and compasses. To here we've got a little montage of boats as well, and then again just a good cross-section of things that we can use for our ships. So those are our toppers. Now, as I said, I've got them in a tint as well, and this is where I think you could, quite conceivably use this to matte and layer if you wanted to. Take this one and then put that one in full colour on top, and then you'll just get the sense of repetition going on with your crafting. So that's something to think about, which is why I've put them on here. Now we've also got our ships, and again another 40 of these, and I've broken these into two sections. I've gone for the sort of the vintage Victoriana look, these sort of woodcuts, line illustrations, and we've got 10 of each. I've gone for landscape and portrait. Sorry, you're going to have to twist your head to see those, but when they print out you can obviously cut them and use them however you want to within your crafting. And again, this is just a way of adding and putting the imagery on there for you. And what I've done is basically make them to fit A5, A6 and A7 cards, but of course you can mix and match. You may want to put 3 little ones down in a row, or a cross on a card. So feel free again to mix and match all the images. You don't just have to use what's here prescriptively. You can have a go and create your own cards with them as well. So those are the what I call, as I said, the line drawings. And then I've got something here, another mix and match of boats and ships for you that we could use. And these are out of the square format, so these make your landscape and portrait cards. Someone's going on a cruise. We've got a lovely card you could make for them there, Bon Voyage. Through to our lovely tall ships. And even we've got our fishing vessel here. I used to live by the coast down in Devon, so fishing and the sound of seagulls was a big part of my life. And again, those are just some lovely ones. We've just gone for the black and white images, which I really like. And here again, just some really nice sort of black and white images. It's very classy, isn't it? Just gives you a really chic looking card for you there. And I put some battered old ones. I did a CD, The Wild West Goes West, and we had Barry, who makes my cards, put a lovely card that said from one old wreck to another. So many of you love that card. I thought, well, here's something you could probably use as well, and work with these as well. So I've got a couple of these. I don't know, it's like retirement cards or something, I don't know if that's probably appropriate, but I've just put them in as part of it. And again, I said we've got a whole section of ships, our sort of illustrative ones, and again something else for a cruise here, sort of a homage to the 30s, through to another sort of lovely atmospheric picture here. So those can be used within our card making as well. And coming back, and incidentally, we've got, as I said, I've got the topper creator here. I want to come back to that in a moment. The captain's table is again just taking it out from the square format, and just giving you images that we would find on the captain's table. So it's just again a collection of images to sort of evoke the feeling of being at sea, going on a voyage, travelling, and we're definitely with a sort of, we're looking at, you know, turn of the century or 18th century ships here. A little bit more modern there, just sneaking in, and a few other additional images here for you. But these, I hope, will just give you again a little bit more range in your card and craft making with the images. So they're there to help really pull along the other images in the CD as well. Now we've also got the folds and templates, and again they're very popular, and you can use the cards in landscape or portrait format with these. And we've got a little tutorial here that will show you just how to cut out and make it. And I've also added vertical papers because you need those to make these. So again, 20 vertical ones. Now you can use the backing papers, but what I've done is just taken some of those but added some new papers in as well that we can use. So when you use those templates and you print on the back, you can use this in a more appropriate format. So I've changed some of the other ones and turned them around, but added some new papers in for you as well that we can use to create the folds back with our vertical papers here, or again use them as backing papers. There's some lovely ones in there, so it's another range. And of course we've got them in the tints as well, which works beautifully. Okay, so last but not least, we've got the topper creator. Now I've done a separate little tutorial video on how to work with this, and that's up in this section here. But the tutorial just shows you that you can change the size and the scale. But what I've done is created these images. Now please have a go with the basic graphics. It's so simple to do. Just point, click, copy and paste. It's as simple as that. I won't run through it now because it's all on that other video, but just to show you how simple it is. However, if you're really terrified of that, or it's not working for you, I've done it so these images can be just printed out for you as a sheet, and you can cut them out. But these actually blow up quite large if you use them in the graphics. I'm just going to say let's take this compass here, and all I'm going to do is go edit, copy, up to my graphics. Now I've already done something here from the video, so I'm going to go Control V to paste it on, and then just drag it down. And we can see we can make them quite large. They'll actually print out quite well and hold the detail. So the beauty of that is if you want a really big watch, you can just take those smaller images and work with them there. And this is just the exercise I've done in the tutorial there, showing you how we use your type. But coming back to here, you can see that the pages have got some lovely images on them which you can work with within the card making, and again create your own toppers. This is the nice thing with it. You can have a go at creating your own with this. So we can put the people in. We've said different images that can be worked with and used to create our CD. And I've also got the graphics papers here as well, so again we can use that to make our own topper. That's all covered in the tutorial, but we can click onto one of these, copy and paste it into the graphics, and enlarge it if we need to. Okay, that incidentally opens up into a separate page, so when you're done with it you can just click down and then click on and it'll come up here. It might ask you for permission from your computer to open it. Mine did, and just say yes because you know what the document is and where it's coming from. It's just my security is obviously a bit fierce on this one. So that's the overview of Nautica. I think it makes a great one for cards for the men here, but we've got other, as I said, images and backing papers that you could use for all of your crafting as well if you wanted to use something in another project. But overall, it's a good resource which has a lovely feel to it. It can be taken to wherever you want to work with it, and will just give you, I think, another great way of creating cards for men. Boats and ships are evocative of we've got all sorts of images. It's often used for cards for men, but this way it's a little bit different, a little bit of a slant on it, and you can create your own toppers using these images here and really personalize the card and bring in other elements as well. That's the nice thing of it. Anyway, I hope that gives you a sort of a whet your appetite for the CD. If you've enjoyed the Mechanica, I think you'll absolutely love this. And if you're new to it, then I think again you've got a fantastic CD here as a resource for making cards for men. So enjoy the CD and enjoy your crafting, and I hope this gives you a little bit of idea of what you can do with the CD-ROM. Take care. Bye bye.